Hello, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I can't wait to show you this wonderful new journal that I've just finished. This is a beautiful old children's book from the 1920s called the 1950s, The Child's Book of Verse. It's about 70 years old, and it's just got the most enchanting cover here with the three children in this wooden shoe flying in the air looking at the moon with their nets coming down and the star. It's just beautiful. Now it was in very bad condition when I received it, so I did some repair to the cover, and I was going to cover up this mending with some ribbon, but I decided to leave it because I actually like the rough look of it. If the purchaser of this journal would like me to cover that, I will. I just always like to keep that spine intact, so I can certainly cover that with some ribbon. And look at the wonderful original back on that. Isn't that wonderful? So let me show you the inside. The vintage beads and ribbon I put together to match the cover, and put some netting down here to match the netting here, and some crochet. I left the original inscription there from, it was a gift from Auntie Carol. Some fun vintage and antique ephemera clusters. This is going to be in my Etsy shop at hyperstamper.etsy.com shortly. And remember, everything in my shop has free shipping in North America, and everything in here is authentic antique and vintage ephemera. I don't use any commercial products at all. Here's the original plate in the book. That's the original first plate. It's absolutely wonderful. Little girl with her doll. It's called A Pattern Baby. And here is the original first page, date of publication page, vintage sewing book page. Just some really fun crochet bits here, vintage 1920s children's book page about Old Mother Hubbard, and a 50s stamp collector's page, wonderful 1920s children's book page here, and a 1951 yearbook page here. And I just thought that was really, really fun, showing the true look of the students and how they were in the 50s. Kind of fun. This is a very old book, part of the Peter Rabbit series, and this is Patty the Beaver. And I just put some antique paper on the back there so you could journal as well as treasure that beautiful picture. There, more 20s book page. I made this tag here as I've been doing this week with a little fabric window, and more crochet pockets here. And here is another 1920s beautiful book page. Isn't that lovely? The Quaker bonnets, antique paper on the back. And another sewing, vintage sewing. Here's a 1950s bingo card. That was in my haul video. Another children's book page down here with a bunny and a wolf. And this is fabulous. This is from 1920. It is an American map. Now, I was going to use this. Every time I sell a journal, I have a map, a bigger one, and I put a little mark on it. And it's really fun. I was going to use this one, but it is not up to date enough. But it's really fun here because whoever owned this atlas did a little road trip here from St. Paul all the way to New York. So I thought that was kind of cool that they made that little marking on the map. I've got an antique postcard that is from 1929. There, names of the people on the back. A Pepsi Cola receipt from 1953. That's kind of neato. Pepito. And this book page here was called Little Acts of Kindness, and I love that. It's kind of got a really nice cluster of antique papers going here. Another fun cluster up here. Here is a 1950s recipe book index page, and this is from the 1890s, Sunday Reading for the Young. A really beautiful little plate there. This is the original spine from this book, so I used it to make a belly band, which is what I always do if I can save the spine, and that was from the 1950s Bambi book, which has long been made into a journal and sold. This here is a vintage tapestry. I actually flipped it upside down because I love the coloring on the back of it. Antique paper underneath for a little hidden spot. A lovely little children's book page here. And we've got a 1950s vintage playing card here that you can upcycle and have fun with. And then a 1920s banknote there. And a really fun little book page image there. Another 1800s cluster up there. And this is two tags here. This is one of these triple tag pieces, two little mini tags in the pocket there, and then the big tag all for journaling. And that's got a wonderful 1950s piece on it. It's just a really whimsical 1920s book page. Am I talking fast enough? Trying to make my videos faster. So there's a 1950s receipt in here. And this is a 1940s book, and it was called Emma. And this is the dust jacket. So I turned it into pockets and left this all open so you could journal on it. Another vintage dictionary page here from the 40s. And then in this pocket here is this lovely little song that goes with this plate from the book, the Oxfordshire Children's May Song. So I wanted them to stay together because that's for the plate, and you can journal on the back. More clusters, some beautiful lace here. Here's another plate from the Scottish Highlands book, and that is Inverary Castle cross. An antique page envelope. A vintage typing instruction book, another 1800s image here. This is another plate from this book and the song that goes with it here, or the poem in that case. Another 1940s children's book page here, and this is fabulous. This is really, really awesome. Look at this from 1895. That is awesome. October 1895. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. You can do all kinds of things with that. It's endless, as well as digitizing if you want, because it's past the point of copyright. There is a 1950s doily booklet page and another piece of that youth companion. I just really like the image on here with the book and the telescope. So also from October 1895, little pocket there, journaling pocket. This is from the 1903, I think. This is the Young Toy Makers book page with some really old antique paper on the back. Another children's book page pocket here. And just some really colorful, wonderful book pages here from the 30s. This is from 1925, so 99 years old. And it is a business postcard from a manufacturer. And then here is, this is actually the cover of the woodworking book I've been using. And Practical Wood Carving's got the beautiful gold emboss on there, and that's actually 100 years old, more than 100 years old to be honest. And then we've got a vintage music sheet. Oh, look at this, Moon River with Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Wow, isn't that great? And that is the cover of that music piece. Two vintage playing cards in here, another journaling tag here, antique book page, a 1920s banknote here, more of that doily book, Theater Arts, 1940, May. Wonderful advertisements, and that brings us to the end. So, hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again.